願い事を一つ灯した短冊が儚く揺れるからため息で吹き消す
Good evening and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, where we last session had an attempted goblin invasion, which didn't go very well for the goblins. Well, it didn't go very well for us either, to be fair. We've lost so many dwarves, we might actually get some immigrants. But on the other hand, we did kill all the goblins, so that's nice, despite the fact that they brought cave dragons with them. I'm not sure whether I know where the cave dragon corpses are, though, so I'm not sure if we'll manage to butcher them in time or if they will end up rotting, because right now there is an awful lot of stuff lying around that needs to be tidied up. And the dwarves are possibly prioritising the wrong things. Oh dear, there's an entire exploded kitten mouth here. Stray kitten corpse and 500,000 stray kitten teeth. Right, we should probably mark those for dumping.
I mean, you're only assuming that those teeth are all from the same kitten. I mean,
It's true.
In Poirot, there would have been decoy teeth from a different cat.
Also, kittens, of course, lose their milk teeth at some point, so you can actually have that for a non-suspicious reason.
There are 2 stray cat mutilated corpses 2 squares to the south.
You reckon the stray kitten also had an enormous number of 50p's in its pocket?
Yes, I think a cave dragon did get a lot of these. Which suggests there ought to be a cave dragon corpse around somewhere, because I think we killed one quite near here. But yeah, we'll see. Hang on, let me just reorganise things. There we go. Yes, Pink Beast says, I was disappointed in the cave dragons given how much Arch Crystal built them up. Yes, they were quite squishy, really. I don't actually know how we killed them, to be fair. I could perhaps have looked at the combat logs and tried to work out how a cave dragon dies. But yes, the 3 cave dragons turned out not to be enough to be a serious worry. Presumably somewhere around here I could actually find the file that contains all of the logs. 11/gamelog.txt/-i/dragon, which none of you lot can see. Yeah, so the cave dragons toppled a huge load of my my pedestals, much to my annoyance. Were quite effective at killing dogs, etc. But fundamentally, actually looking at this, yes, a cave dragon got into a fight with a militia captain and a dog at the same time, and thus kept getting distracted by the dog, which helped to keep the keep it from attacking the militia captain too much. And it wasn't, and it tended to miss or get blocked in those attacks. It looks like. And meanwhile, militia captain armed with a spear, I think, yes, with a copper spear, but like it's not like cave dragons have steel skin. Stabbed it repeatedly. So yeah, I think, and yes, I think cave dragons not actually very scary, especially when you've got a decoy dog with you or kitten or what have you. Now, real dragons are properly scary because they can breathe fire.
I'm just briefly distracted by the awkward characters there.
Yes, because it just dumps code page 437 into the logs.
Yes, I've just worked that out.
So let's find. So here's another cave dragon which kills some cats, but then. I mean, yes, the line, the war cave dragon claws the doctor in the throat and the injured part is ripped into loose shreds. Well, that's certainly not going to be good for the doctor. But this one appears to be mostly missing a swords dwarf, or indeed missing everyone. So how did that one die, I wonder? Was that just... I mean, it does look like they're scary, but they don't have that many attacks. So if you mob them... And in particular, like, if you're decent with a shield... You may well be able to... this one hasn't been attacked yet. Anyway, I should probably go back to doing something that, like, other people on the stream can actually see. Suppose we could look at the last thing that affected a cave dragon. Right, yes, okay, that's a good line. The militia captain hacks the war cave dragon in the head with her iron battle axe, and the injured part is cloven asunder. Like having previously hit it with a battle axe repeatedly. So yeah, I think my best guess is that mostly if you can mob them with a reasonable number of kittens, then they have difficulty focusing on the dwarf with the battle axe and tend to fall prey to said battle axe. Anyway, let's unpause this and let the poor dwarves try to tidy up. While I go, what on earth are we doing with all these kitten teeth? Actually, I'll have to pause again to make sure that we get that bit right. Because we want to mark everything in that square for dumping, except that we don't want to mark... Oh, that's not the right technique, is it? The various clothes or the bits of dwarf. But the bits of kitten should be disposed of. This one is slightly simpler because, okay, it looks like I've already got the kitten tooth there. Have I? Make sure I haven't marked everything in that square for dumping. Okay, both of the kitten teeth in that square are already marked, so clearly I found this pile of kitten teeth already. I think possibly I just got scared off by that square that contains 15 zillion kitten teeth. Or possibly I'd already done all of that and I'm just doing something I'd already done. I don't know. So it looks like I've marked quite a lot of stuff for proper disposal there, which is good.
The idea that dwarves having sense is
Well, when they're going to put things in a stockpile, they'll often collect up lots of them. If they're collecting stuff to put in a bin in particular, then or a barrel, then I think they'll collect a lot of stuff to go in the same bin or barrel. So we'll often see that when they're collecting fruit, for instance. Oh yes, we were slowly replacing all of our weapon traps with cage traps, weren't we? Let's not do that because there are so many other jobs to do.
Like cleaning up squilly and kidney teeth.
Yes. Dumping a rotten, agitated, giant blue jay mangled corpse. Pretty sure that's not the correct adjective order.
Well, the English adjective order is really weird, and it's sort of not officially defined, but you put them in order, and then people who speak English go, "That's wrong."
So the ghost that was haunting somewhere fairly uninteresting, I think, possibly the river, has been put to rest. This is a finely crafted microclimb memorial to Meng Tegironal. The slab reads, "In memory of Meng Tegironal, born 38, drowned in the year 114, creator of United Guilt, the Catch of Martyring." It is coated with water, which is kind of appropriate for a memorial to someone drowning, but I think that's just because everything being brought into the fortress ends up coming through a waterfall, which is good for cheering up the dwarves, but does rather mean that they end up being a bit wet.
Ghostly doctor being put to rest.
Yes. What?
Surgical spirit.
Thank you. Simon mentioned surgical spirit. I wonder if actually we should move our butchery outside, because that would make it a lot less prone to filling up with miasma. And like everything has to be hauled down through the fortress anyway at the moment. Like ideally, it should just end up in the ingredient stockpile, but I think we have a reserve ingredient stockpile down here because it turns out we can't cook things fast enough. In addition to an enormous prepared food stockpile, like there is an argument that we don't need all this food, but it's kind of become traditional now.
Sell some to the next whatnot.
Well, we could, but selling prepared meals in particular always seems like an exploit because they're stupidly valuable. And it's not like anyone has anything we want to buy. So we just fill up the caves with more and more food and booze.
Is money its own thing?
Coins kind of exist, but not really.
You can't melt them down to metal or something.
I mean, you can melt, well, yes, and you can make coins, but they're not widely used as currency, I don't think.
Since they're $6,800 on each side.
No, coins are actually quite small. But yeah, I mean, like metal bars are probably just as good. So, yes, I kind of feel that maybe it would be wise to take this stockpile and it's just tagged corpses, body parts, and nothing else, it looks like, yes. And it's all possible kinds of corpse and all possible kinds of body part, because actually corpses of sentient creatures don't appear as refuse. So we could just... The major problem is that will make it an even longer walk to get things down into the food stockpiles, but possibly the correct answer to that is to add more staircases that connect up in a more useful fashion. Like we could have a staircase from here that doesn't require you to fight your way through the dining room in order to get somewhere. and it could just go more or less straight down, except for the slight problem of we want to try to avoid flooding, but like we can probably do that by walling it in. So if we made a staircase reasonably close to the entrance that went down to the deep food stockpiles, I mean, we could open some other holes. So far, like in the past, I've tried to make my fortresses highly defensible, like with careful internal divisions and such like. And this one is a lot more relaxed, a lot more. Well, we'll just assume that no one will get seriously killed before we can get some soldiers to them. This does have the problem that if we let the sea in, it tends to be a bit exciting. So maybe I just need to make like a convenient staircase from close to the main entrance to somewhere in the deep food stockpiles. If I can find a convenient unused patch of floor. Yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have had flooding down there. I mean, we could just put a staircase like in this tiny little gap here. Yes, that is damp siltstone down there, so we need to be a bit careful. Oh, go on, it'll be amusing. And then we'll put a new stockpile up here for well, actually we could go for the slightly silly thing. Rather than creating a new stockpile with the same configuration, let's just extend this stockpile above ground. I think I can do that, can't I? Oh, is there a requirement that a stockpile must be on a single Z level then? So I can draw extra bits of stockpile there. But if I ask to repaint that stockpile... oh, no, there I can make a three-dimensional bit of stockpile. Okay, what?
It's got more than one Z level. It's not a stockpile anymore, it's stock shelves.
Yes. Okay, how do I stop painting a rectangle that starts there? I haven't accept. Oh, maybe I can just go bonk, bonk. No, bonk. Well, let's go into painting mode then and see if I can do it like that. No. Okay, can I paint it over to... No, but then it's... Maybe I'll just do it the easy way and make a new stockpile. So we want to find refuse and just turn on all corpses and all body parts. And we'll set that stockpile to don't take from random places. And then we'll build a new butcher's shop up here. Out of, I don't know, there's something that's a fun colour. Let's build it out of bauxite so that it's red. Right, so that way we can move, we can avoid filling everything with miasma every time we don't butcher things fast enough. Actually, now that that's a bare skeleton, we don't need to dump it anymore. Right. They knocked down all my pedestals. So, yes, I'm going to have to put up all the pedestals along the riverbank again, probably. Maybe we should wait until it's a bit tidier. Let's not distract the dwarves with yet more work. Right, so yes, unsurprisingly, we have located some damp stone where I was trying to dig.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit mistake.
So we are making the dwarves, the goblins' beak dogs' skulls into totems, which can then be like sold as trinkets. Curious, is there an option for like turn off this stockpile? Not really, no. I mean, I did kind of do it, I suppose, by changing this stockpile to don't accept items from anywhere, which is kind of a way to turn it off. Right, so no, keep digging. Okay, people are carefully hauling bits of creatures that have been butchered underground onto the surface. This is perhaps not the most helpful of activities. Let's mark some of those things for dumping before they get hauled up to the surface. If we have random nervous tissue down there, it should not be brought to the surface. Prepared cave dragon brain. Excellent. We've managed to find a dead cave dragon and butcher it in time. Agitated giant blue jays have a lot of bones. But I'm sure some people will like eating cave dragon. Yeah, if it's rotten. Well, actually, we don't really have to dump it if it's rotten now. We can leave it to turn into a skeleton if we're storing it outside. Where are you going? What have you spotted? Also, is there still a dead desert tortoise woman lying around somewhere? You do seem to be in quite a hurry. And then not. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. Possibly we want to also to enlarge the that refuse stockpile above ground because... Oh, troll. Oh, fighting a forgotten beast, right, that's fine. I presume they're doing... The troll and the forgotten beast are fighting one another, yes. So that's happening deep underground, way away from anything that matters to us.
If they get really loud, the dwarves might send a deputation past them to keep the noise down.
Yes. Right, so we have a bit of water getting in there, which we might want to do something about. Why is there mist coming down that staircase? Eh? I can't see any reason for there to be mist coming down that staircase. And like a small amount of water on the floor below. It is a bit wet here. Maybe we've got some leakage through this wall. Well, that's fine. A bit of water coming down staircases cheers people up anyway. Right. What kind of totem did we just make? Giant blue jay skull totem. Excellent. I'm sure someone will find a use for it. Right, now our major problem is simply that just dealing with all of the stuff that there is to do around here. Tidying up after a goblin attack is like quite a lot of effort for our poor little dwarves. Scale is not usable for anything. Oh, right, we are butchering a beak dog. Apparently have a beak dog that is in a fit state to be butchered. Right, how are we doing here? We need to remark that staircase. Everything really is marked for dumping, just, oh dear, someone finally found a dead horse. We have a problem, a continuing problem of people being... Cancelsville Pond, inappropriate building. How curious. So we appear to have a bit of a agitated giant blue jay problem on the surface. Which is possibly why the soldiers are like running around slightly frantically.
I have an email here that says that someone found a bug in GTK puzzles and suggests to me that you might be better able to fix it than me.
Well, given I caused it, yes. Assuming it's... If you have a window that doesn't fit the puzzle, then things end up not redrawing correctly. Yes. Yep. That was what I spotted just before Poirot.
You spotted it before Poirot? Gosh.
Yes, I expect that the puzzles bug is not actually going to be particularly hard to fix, and is a case of I removed slightly too many things that I thought were just compensating for scale factors that were now being done more properly, and apparently one of them was not compensating for scale factors. One of them was compensating for the fact that the puzzle doesn't fill the whole window, and so that one needs to go back in. Right, how are we just slightly worried that we should possibly stop filling that thing with water before it overflows. Oh yes, we had a problem that this system had stopped working for reasons that I've now forgotten. Because someone knocked down the and someone's stuck there hungry and thirsty. Right, let's drain the water. Because because a cave troll or a dragon or something knocked down the windmill that powers it. And so the train stopped, and then that meant that that everyone got off the trains and tried to get out, only apparently some people haven't. Is this because you don't know how to swim? No, you're a proficient swimmer now. Well, I wonder if we've got a squad we can put you in. What's your name? Your name is Merle Amkol Tobul. Right, you're in the army now. Also, we'll get you out of that swimming pool in a moment. Or rather, we'll get the swimming pool out from around you. And then we can probably tidy up. That's nice. We've struck white jade, apparently. Yes, it's true.
You better apologise to her.
So the point of that staircase was mostly to... okay, there's quite a lot of water here. There's a slight problem with... because this is an enormous... stockpile, we can't actually see the water in it, and the fact that it's like quite seriously flooding from... oh right, okay, no, it's not very seriously flooding. It's the mechanism for draining the swimming pool passes straight through this stockpile. How about we like wall off the mechanism that the drain that passes straight through that stockpile? Because that seems like it might be let's de-stockpile that area so we can see what's going on. Should have done it. Erase a portion of this stockpile. Is it a different... ah, right. It's actually on the boundary between deep prepared meals and the wine cellar. Right, yes, that's quite wet, isn't it? Well, I mean, it will get less wet once we finish draining the swimming pool, I suppose. But then we should probably wall it off so that the water doesn't keep flooding the... Also, there's a definite graphical glitch there. Well, not really glitch, but infelicity, where the stockpile takes priority over the object in it, but only when it's flooded. Yes, yes, this is causing quite a lot of wetness. Oh well, there's a finite amount of water to be drained. And after that it will like dry out a bit. So yes, let's construct a wall around that. Probably not sensible to do that out of... we have a phenomenal number of gypsum blocks. We should probably stop making blocks. Why are we still making blocks? I thought we were only meant to be making blocks when, like, we didn't have very many of them, but it does rather look like we've got a lot that are genuinely available because they're on this list. I should investigate that and probably cause it to stop. Because we have more rock blocks than any plausible requirement for them. And that task isn't running. Let's just confirm that it really isn't. There's make rock slab and carve a memorial to Meng Arbor Nest. Okay, maybe we just have too many rock blocks and I don't need to worry about where they're coming from. Let's just quickly make sure that the dwarf washers are all turned off. Because otherwise someone is going to start sending minecarts around places when there are people standing on the tracks, and that will lead to unhappiness. There we go. So now the minecarts will generally just be retrieved back to their starting points, and then we can set them moving again in a bit. Now, of course, the dwarves have even more stuff to tidy up because there's all of the clothes that people have abandoned in the swimming pool. Also need to be got rid of. So I think we could demolish that butcher's shop if it's not currently doing anything. Yes. This butcher shop is kind of nominally doing something, but I think all the butchers are busy moving stuff. Like, we still have several dwarves even waiting to be buried, which is a bit embarrassing, really. Let's just install some more coffins. Oops. Keep building. I don't think we're actually... Oh, right. I don't think we're actually short of tombs, to be fair. Oops. Yes, like, plenty of them don't have anyone in them yet. So I think the burial problem is just that the dwarves are getting distracted by other things. And, like, there are plenty of things for them to... Yeah, look, there's an enormous set of place item in tomb jobs. How about you do some of them? No, we're busy storing things in stockpiles. Or in bags, or in barrels, or in bins. But mostly in stockpiles. Looks like building walls is a popular activity. Right, it's drying up a bit, and so we can start to see the existence of the barrels again. It's kind of silly. So, yes, those walls, yes, they are actually underway. And that will mean that we don't flood the cellars the next time we drain the swimming pool, which will probably be helpful. I shall leave the swimming pool drained at least until we've tidied up all of the stuff from in it, like all the equipment that people have left lying around. Just dump that nervous tissue. We don't have anything we can do with that. Other things can, in general, be made use of. Oh, it's nice to see that our beekeeping industry is still working properly. What's going on with happiness anyway? Yeah, I mean, I suspect a lot of people are just unhappy because of the goblin invasion, which isn't very surprising, really. I'm afraid we have lots of bits of animals now lying around here that have emerged from the demolished butcher's shop. There we have a rotted cave dragon corpse, which I think we will just keep here until it turns into a pile of bones, or rather into a skeleton, which we can then take apart into a pile of bones. Still rotted objects, but I think the rotted objects are marked for dumping, just someone has to get round to it. So yes, this is all a bit like tedious, as far too much of the world is just full of objects that are not where they ought to be. Still, we've almost finished walling in that drain, so that next time we want to drain the swimming pool, it doesn't flood the food storage, and instead just floods the caverns, because the water from the swimming pool ultimately ends up down here, where it then like pours off the edge of the, well, not off the edge of the map yet, but pours over some edge and down there, it looks like.
Looks like it's actually going off the edge though.
Well, it disappears down to this level and then down here, and then we can't see it anymore because we can't see all of the caverns yet.
Oh, how close is your forgotten beast to being underwater?
Sorry?
How close is your forgotten beast to being underwater?
Oh, I don't know if we can even see it. I think the water does eventually drain off the map, and so the water level down there is fairly stable. So our Forgotten Beast is here on Z level minus 35. And like the water is down at Z level minus 67. And I don't think the water is rising anymore. Well, this dwarf here is cheerfully butchering beak dogs quite rapidly, which is nice. We also have a kind of explosion of meat over here, which needs to be hauled downstairs eventually. Someone has got another cat. We are... Oh, Monmouth Avers Lular is constantly slipping in and out of depression. We still haven't even managed to bury all of our own dead. There are 4 dead dwarves over here. And a rotted cave dragon. Come on, you guys. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed that, created that new corpse stockpile, refuse stockpile, because it's now meaning that there's somewhere to haul all of these dead beak dogs, etc. to. Oh well. Right. Is there still stuff down here? There is still stuff down here. Let's not try to tidy that up yet. But I suppose we could reconstruct the... Oh, hello. The Forgotten Beast Gened has come. A huge quadruped composed of ice. It has 2 long curving horns and it has a bloated body. Beware its deadly spittle. That's nice. It's probably in the caverns. The Forgotten Beast Gened is fighting the Forgotten Beast Lomifo Omiobi. It's slightly hard to know which one is winning, owing to messages that go, the Forgotten Beast attacks the Forgotten Beast.
But it rolls away. That should be possible to work out. What's the other Forgotten Beast? Is that the spherical pigeon?
Lomifo Omiobi, I don't know. Now that's an enormous one-eyed lizard with 2 narrow tails and a bloated body. It has dark tan scales. They're small and overlapping. It also has deadly spittle, though they're probably thus both resistant to one another's...
Well, that was clearly foolish of me to think that the spherical Forgotten Beast would be the one rolling away. Oh well.
It's right on the edge of our ability to see anything anyway. Okay, the lizard died. There is the ice quadruped, which is unable to... its right rear foot is gone. Its head, it is in various places fractured. But on the other hand, it definitely managed to beat the lizard. It is now called Gened Lozuenust. So there. Which means Gened Dust Hallows. Was it Hallows or Hollows? Dust Hollows. Right, that's nice. Oh good, someone's burying someone now. Pinkbee says, eventually the champion Forgotten Beast will come up and kick all of your dwarves' bottoms. It's possible. if we like open the door, or if Forgotten Beasts eventually learn how to dig tunnels, which I think Toady 1 keeps threatening to implement. Or possibly not Forgotten Beasts digging tunnels. Right, yes. Finally, the burial jobs have been activated. It looks like got 2 people hauling dead dwarves down to the burial chambers.
We therefore commit this body into the next cupboard in line.
Yes. And we also have these this weird stockpile of dwarf teeth. Okay, why is that corpse there rather than like in a coffin? Like, it's an entire corpse, so they're probably comprehensively dead. And don't thus need to be carefully stored in a stockpile until the rest of the dwarf arrives. So you are hauling a corpse. You are doing a place item in tomb job. So I'm kind of hopeful that you will actually place it in a tomb. If you can find the correct tomb. There we go. In an oaken casket. Good. I'm confused by that corpse. I mean, we'll leave it there for now, but we will be suspicious of it nonetheless. Right, and they've picked up another one. Nice. There's still cruft lying around down here. Doesn't look like these are owned by anyone, so they should go into a stockpile somewhere. Though admittedly the second-hand clothes stockpile is looking kind of full. Maybe we need to enlarge it a bit. Let's see if that helps. Causes more things to be stored. Yes, I think that might help. Right, let's construct that missing windmill because we're going to want that fairly soon. Right, we can't actually restart.
Will you start the fans, please? No.
No access to 4 logs. Look, there are 4 logs right next to it, but oh, are they all officially in use? Oh, they're forbidden. Let's unforbid the bits of the demolished building then. And then we could use them to build a replacement. What? Oh, right, yes, because I've already built one. Right. There only seems to be enough wood to build one there, so I'm going to assume that only one got demolished and rebuilding one will be enough to get things going again. Right, that wall is now complete. The amount of water leaking in there looks acceptable, and like we can now bring meat down here much more quickly, which is helpful. Oh, it looks like we still haven't fully cleared out that staircase. Like there's one square that's still... Is it? Is that staircase real or not? Well, let's watch someone going up or down it and see what happens. if anyone actually goes up the staircase. Everyone seems to be coming down it. Let's go to the top of this staircase. Well, maybe I just need to look backwards in time somehow. There is quite a lot of water coming out here. Maybe we should dig things a bit wider so we can then wall them in with nice blocks. Oh, right. Oh, there's something in that location, apparently. Right. All right, that's already part of the wall. Right, we should demolish that then. Oh, we already have. Okay, or rather, we've already marked it for demolition. So, yes, I have thus asked to widen that corridor a bit, in the hope that then we can build a wall along it to why blocked at this location? Oh right, because that bit still has to be dug out. Yes, okay. Well, we can wall in that one square then. That will help a little bit. Here's someone who's going up. Let's follow them and make sure that they can actually go all the way up. Yep, okay, all those squares are genuinely staircases, even though one of them looks like it's not been dug out yet. Good. Still got at least 3 dwarves want burying. And like once we dealt with all of the burials and butcherings, then we can start dealing with the actual goblinite. Like ordinary objects that don't need to be stored quickly or butchered quickly. I wonder what we can do with gizzard stones. What are you making? Ah, you're engraving a memorial to Meng Arbadast, which seemed like a good idea for some reason. Yes, it's possible. Right, yes. Ah, down to 7 unhappy. Yeah, I think it was mostly like situational unhappiness. Where's our major problem then? Our spear boss name. Mommers Avaz Lular is almost at the top of orange now, and is still occasionally prone to slipping into depression. I don't quite understand this. Also, we have too many eggs. Someone should cook them, or we're going to end up with too many chickens, or turkeys, or what have you. Oh yes, general thing. Let's have a quick glance at the
Republic of 1,000 eggs.
right. No one needs gelding at the moment. Good. We do have an awful lot of kittens, though. Even now, even after we fed quite a lot of them to a dragon. Well, several dragons. Why is there still a rotting dwarf corpse down here, eh? Someone should do something with it.
Whack it, possibly.
I mean, we could dump it, but like, it surely belongs in a coffin. And surely once it belongs in a coffin, it should get removed from that stockpile. There's another one. Let's try... And another one. Why are they all being put in this stockpile rather than somewhere more sensible? Like, some of them have got placed in the... Hello, what's going on? Why have you gone all crunchy? That kind of thing tends to mean that suddenly someone has let some water in somewhere. Or otherwise, yes. Or it has otherwise become necessary to simulate a lot of water. What's happened? Right. The forbidden door, which we have walled off, is not the cause of this problem, I think. I say that, but there's a siltstone floor hatch there that appears to be open. Or at least it might be open, given that it's quite wet underneath it. Was there still a lever that operated that, and has some irritating person gone and pulled it? And if so, maybe we should remove that lever?
Pull it again first.
Yeah, but that's... I think this lever does operate that floor hatch. There's a small part of me that's going, can we take advantage of this to like get some of the rubbish out of the sea? But I don't think that's a wise move given the amount of water involved. So I think that siltstone floor hatch there is controlled by the lever labelled sea drain south. Actually, we can probably check that, can't we? Linked building, siltstone floor hatch. Yeah, probably. That lever is in the left position, which is the same position as most of our river drains, which suggests that the floor hatch is closed, because all the river drains are closed. But on the other hand, it blatantly isn't, because there's still water coming in. Just advancing a frame at a time and checking the water is actually... I mean, I suppose an easy way to check is there still water directly underneath the floor hatch? Yes, there is. Like the 7/7 2 floors down. So that hatch appears to be open. But if it's controlled by levers, no one could have gone through it. Like no dwarf could have, because it was underwater. Well, I mean, they can swim, but they can't swim that well. So surely... Well, I think what I'm going to want to do then is to schedule 2 pull lever jobs on that and try to keep an eye on what's going on with it. Actually, let's not schedule the second one yet. Let's schedule the first one, watch it happen, and then see if we can see why... We can see if that does anything useful. And then we'll do another one. Because, like, meanwhile, a lot of water is going into places where water ought not to be. Anyone scheduled to pull the lever yet? No. Someone should pull the lever, please. How about now? Right, someone is pulling the lever. They might even be slightly nearby.
The task is they pull the lever, not pull a lever.
Well, I mean, it is quite important which lever they pull.
Yes.
Moving quite slowly, in part because everything is moving slowly at the moment. Right, the lever has been pulled. I expect that will do nothing useful, though. Let's just give it a few seconds to turn out to have no effect, because there might be 100 frame lag. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, at 7 frames per second, that's over 100 frames. And the water is still coming in. It's probably coming in a bit slower than it was before. So let's now pull that lever again, and I hope that will close the grate. If it doesn't, then we may have a more serious problem. Wrong one. So is someone scheduled to pull it again? That we can watch them plodding slowly towards the lever. The fortress attracted no migrants this season. We might get some next season, even though it's a bit of a dangerous place to be. Be cheered. Yes, cheered by the waterfall. I mean, it's still a long trek to the lever, mind, but... Come on, you can do it. I know there's a lot of kittens in the way, but... Yep, the lever's just over there. Thank you. Right, let's see if that's helped. Well, I think the frame rate has just gone up noticeably, so maybe it's helped. Let's see. Or maybe we're just running out of sea. Yes, there is no longer 7/7 of water under here. So I've no idea how that floor hatch got opened, but we have managed to close it again. No one has yet been found to have drowned, though that might just be because no one's been looking. Actually, population 96 is what we had before, I think. So, Diziot says, do people pull levers at random? It has been known, especially if they are tantruming, for instance. So, one possible approach to this would be to remove the lever, which is the correct approach if what happened was that someone pulled the lever. On the other hand, if something else somehow opened that floor grate, then it would be quite bad to remove the lever that allowed us to fix the problem.
I reminded the story about the person who solved the outbreak of cholera by removing the handle from a water pump.
Yes. So our drainage system is now having to work quite hard to get all this water out. The sea, meanwhile, is refilling. Oh, right, yes, I don't think we can drain this layer of the sea because it will always fill very rapidly from outside the map. I'm sure lots of dwarves are being cheered up by having waterfalls in their bedrooms. We did mostly sort out bedroom drainage, to be fair. So, like, there is a lot of water pouring into the drainage systems, but it's also pouring out of the drainage systems into, well, mostly into the... oh dear. Yes, okay, this farm is inadequately drained. I don't know if our rock nut farm is going to be doing very well when it's...
It's now a rock nut paddy.
Well, it's deeper than that.
You're getting viewer approval there.
So, yes, the water is now... Yes, the water is draining out of that farm into the caverns, soaking the poor forgotten beasts. There's possibly a slight problem down here that I remember this drain ending in wall grates or fortifications or something, which probably means we're now accidentally washing like gold nuggets out into the caverns. Maybe not badly. This is slightly dangerous because if a dwarf gets stuck in this system, they may actually end up washed through the fortifications into the caverns with no way back. But I think they're mostly not down in the gold mines, so we should be okay. Yes, yes, well done. You've spotted some damp stone. I think there's quite a lot of damp stone around at the moment. Much of the fortress is currently quite damp. This, of course, has washed a load of stuff out of the stockpiles that they should be kept in. So the next... Oh, fish. We have hake and salmon available. So the... next problem is liable to be that... oh, there's a ghost in the sea. Dishmabzuglar Rochig. Probably this is a problem caused by people putting corpses in stockpiles rather than in coffins. Oh, actually, there only seem to be 2 corpses in that stockpile now, so maybe they are getting scheduled for burial. Good. I mean, as long as people are putting some things in coffins, I'm not too worried about trying to get things into the right places just yet. We've still got a decent number of store item entomb jobs still pending, so... that's all fine. Right, so now there's going to be a bit of going, is there anywhere that's dangerously flooded? I think I want to, when we can, improve the drainage of that farm, because it's kind of... oh, has it found a way down there? Oh, right, yes, that's another drain, accidentally, that takes us down into that mine and eventually down to here, which was another bit of limestone mine, I think, which then drains into the cavern. Yes. Well, let's carve a slab for them. We're still working on the one for Meng Arbor Nest. But let's add that one to the list. Right, all is good. I mean, apart from the amount of water around, but like no one's drowned because mostly I think because the drains are so efficient that they don't allow the water to be above 7/7 deep anywhere that people were for very long. So like no one got trapped in their bedroom, for instance, because all the bedrooms are properly drained. People were not, for the most part, mucking around in the depths of the mines. People could plausibly have been working on this farm plot, so I think we might want to make sure that that has better drainage. Though, like, the water level in there is now mostly safe. You won't drown in there, you just might not be able to get anywhere. Oh, okay, a cat, I think, may have drowned. Maybe. So, yes, I think we will dig some little drains from... It's kind of awkward. It's because they're going to need a couple of squares of digging, and then we need not to accidentally let a forgotten beast into the fortress while we're digging them. But yeah, it'll probably be fine. We'll station a bunch of soldiers nearby while we're digging. So yes, the plan, I think, once the water level in this room is safe, is to probably along the edge of the cavern here dig several more drains, which will let the water, which will basically be similar to this one, except slightly more tedious to dig, because they'll have to go a bit more horizontally, and then that should help to drain this area safely the next time something weird happens. Oh yes, one thing that makes me suspicious that this was not someone pulling the lever because they were tantruming is that the lever was in the closed position, which would mean they must have pulled it twice in rapid succession. I suppose, yes, that would work. If they pulled it twice, then I think, like, the second one might have had no effect. So I'm not quite sure of the rules. It still feels slightly implausible, and I'm slightly reluctant to like destroy the lever just in case it wasn't that, because then next time we won't be able to turn it off. I'm still a bit concerned by the fact that the sea isn't filling up again. Like, the water isn't pouring. I've worked out what it is. The water is pouring in. It's the ghost. I think the ghost was able to open the grate in order to pass through it. And that, I reckon, is how this this flooding is happening. Right. So we are actually working on the ghost. Meanwhile, let's pull the lever twice more. Actually, no, let's do it once and then once, because we need to make No, that's fine. We'll pull it twice more. We don't actually need. No, don't link it to something. That would be terrible. We do need to pull it twice, and it doesn't matter if those happen in very rapid succession. Right. Yes, that would explain why the sea is still rather shallow. We are working on getting this ghost laid to rest. That's this task. Oh, we've made Meng Arbor Nest a slab. Let's install that. Because that might help to... I don't know if they were actually one of our ghosts. But yes, I am currently suspicious that this ghost here, who seems quite happy really, may possibly be part of our problem. That looks like someone drowning. There doesn't seem to be a person there. So I think I'm going to assume that it's not someone drowning and is just something that's coloured like someone drowning. And this ghost is hanging around very close to the problematic floor hatch. And like, I suppose if you're a ghost, you might like waterfalls, and you might thus like to let all of the sea into your fortress. I'm still notionally following this thing, but we don't seem to be... Oh, there it goes. Right, is that filling up again? Yes, it looks like it is. Let's just have a look. Did you just open it again? No. Good. Right, so the sea is refilling. Possibly we could like wall this off from the inside somehow so that the water doesn't go anywhere when this gets opened. That might be a sensible plan, I suppose. Oh dear, we've lost another kitten. We haven't flooded things so badly this time because there wasn't nearly so much water in the sea to come out to get out this time. Oh dear, what's that rotting in a corridor? I think it shouldn't rot in corridors. It's a dead beak dog. Well, we'll try to put that in the rubbish dump, though. Whether it will actually happen anytime soon is anyone's guess. What's going on with this giant blue jay? Someone has punched it repeatedly. And then beheaded it. Excellent. Yeah, no, there are 3 corpses down there in the wrong places. Well, as I said, we'll wait until there aren't any more place item in tomb jobs pending. And then if there are still corpses in the wrong places, we'll work out what to do about them, possibly by removing the stockpiles underneath them temporarily. Well, that's kind of pretty, isn't it? No, 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 Pink Beast. The whole point is that things in stockpiles generally don't rot. Actually, that's not true. Some things in stockpiles don't rot. Corpses in stockpiles rot. Are we already running out of water in there? No, we're not. Indeed, some water appears to have leaked out of the mist generator, which is slightly sad. I need to continue keeping a bit of an eye on the sea to make sure it's going up and not down. Oh good, someone has collected eggs. Well, at least I hope they've collected eggs. Because if they haven't, then an awful lot of eggs have just hatched. But there don't appear to be a vast number of turkey chicks around or anything, so I think we've collected the eggs, which is good. What are you doing? What are you carrying? Oh, right, you're putting a tooth in a tomb. Excellent. Ah, I think there can only be one place item in tomb task active per coffin, or rather per tomb technically. It probably makes things a bit complicated, and in particular means that if your corpse is in a stockpile, we might then end up going to put each of your teeth into your tomb first, and maybe come back for the majority of your corpse later. Right, yes, curiously, the kitten did drown. So what happened to Meg Arbonast anyway? Can I even remember? Struck down by the giant blue jay Hold acted in the year 114. Slayer of the cat. Well, a cat. Lover of gypsum. Well, that's nice. You've got a memorial made out of gypsum. Incidentally, having seen some gypsum in the Sedgwick Museum of Earth Sciences, it is a good deal more transparent than I was expecting. Because, like, I'm used to it as well. I think you make plaster out of, but gypsum in its native form is much more interesting. Water levels still seem to be rising. Hey, the lever isn't the problem. The lever was our salvation, I will have you know. The problem was the ghost. Now, I think I probably could sensibly stop the water ever actually being able to get anywhere from that hole. Like, it currently pours down here. How about if I put a floor in there instead of a floor grate and maybe replace that wall with a... My dear ghost, you have just opened the damn floor grate again. Floor hatch again. I could see you doing it. Well, I mean, I was one floor below, but I could see you in that square, and suddenly that square is full of water again. And that's kind of entertaining. Yes. The sea has gone all stripy. And this is how over the next 10 frames or so, the sea drains very rapidly, apart curiously from some little piles that look like they might be related to a wave which has suddenly vanished. Anyway, let's schedule 2 more pullings of the lever. We are working on getting rid of this ghost. Here is a dwarf making a new slab. What we're going to do about it is we're going to carve a slab that explains how you died. Possibly in excessively gory detail.
Does that lady goes to rest by itself, or is that the necessary precursor to...
We then have to erect the slab somewhere. But yes, it is at least a precursor. An alternative would be to find their corpse or some part of their corpse and bury it. And I think if someone then knocks the slab over again... Right, the sea is filling up again. I could start trying to prevent water coming down this thing, but I'm slightly scared that if I do that, then someone's going to drown because the ghost will flood things again. And at the moment, the flooding seems to be reasonably safe, in that we might have lost a kitten, but that's about it. Maybe 2 kittens. But the dwarves seem to be coming out of this pretty well. So... You seem to be taking a long time to carve this slab. Yes, that's because you have no stoneworking skill at all. Oh well. It'll be done eventually. We have at least managed to build that windmill that we wanted. So let's see if we can locate these. Can we locate like activity zone number 381 and work out whose it is? Is there any sane way that do we like? They don't have numbers here, so it's quite hard to know whose. Oh, but there only appears now to be 1 corpse in that stockpile. So yes, I think what happens is corpses can be stockpiled in parallel, as in if someone's body is hacked up into multiple pieces, they get then all of those pieces can be put in a stockpile, but because the burial job is attached to the coffin, the actual burial of any given person's body parts has to be serialized. They have to bury the parts have to be buried one at a time. So what that may well mean is that for someone who was chopped up into a lot of pieces, their body parts can all be stockpiled rapidly, but take a long time to bury. So I think that's why we occasionally get corpses being stockpiled in this corridor. And I set up this stockpile for storing teeth of people who were still alive, but it's ended up also being used for stockpiling corpses that are still waiting to be buried. So possibly we want that stockpile to be like somewhere where rotting flesh is not such a problem. Are you coming to pick up the last corpse? No, you're not. What are you doing? Are you burying something else then? Yes, you are. Something stored a long way down here. She doesn't feel anything after seeing a dog's dead body. I don't think that's actually a name, you know. Its name isn't a dog, but here we are burying a tooth.
There's something a bit Dead Poets Society about it. Well, oh, captain on a captain, the dog a dog.
Oh dear, we found an actual dead person. That's sad. Where are they? Okay, that wasn't a drowning incident. That was probably being attacked by a... Who was it? Stukos Dorinith. Oh! Giant hamster. The agitated giant hamster bites the doctor in the left upper arm, tearing the muscle through the rope-reed cloak. An artery has been opened by the attack. And then Doctor probably passes out through blood loss. Not sure. Maybe not. Doctor bites the agitated giant hamster in the fifth left rear toe, and the severed part sails off in an arc. So the Doctor has done a pretty decent job of biting this hamster, but the hamster has... yes, you're gradually biting this hamster's toes off. Giant hamster, so like they're a decent size.
Come back here, I'll bite your toes off.
So at this point, things seem to be going, you bit the giant hamster in the teeth. You weird person. Okay, maybe this, it started with a rather unfriendly artery opening, but since then, the Doctor seems to have done all right. So maybe they didn't die at the hands or teeth of this giant hamster. Like, once you're tearing apart the upper spine's nervous tissue, it's probably not very good for the hamster. Okay. No, the giant thripses have never been dangerous, seriously dangerous. Giant flies, yes.
The giant thrips is gripping things with its wing.
Yes, yes. I don't quite know why wings are able to be used for gripping things.
Well, I can believe it of a bat.
Yes. I mean, the Doctor doesn't seem to be doing much good here. Right, got pushed and that damaged their lungs. Yes, okay.
In fact, if wings can grip, then I think Squealer the pig would like a word.
Yes. I mean, it's not clear what happened to the Doctor, but they did eventually give in to pain. And at that point, the agitated giant thrips could get more violent with them, and shake them around more. Oh right, and eventually I think strangled them, slightly surprisingly.
So giant thrips aren't dangerous unless you're already weakened by a battle with a hamster.
Possibly, yes.
I guess the thrips and the hamster get to share the XP or something.
Possibly. I think the hamster may not have survived the experience, actually. There are several giant thrips corpses around there.
I suppose in games when you don't respawn, you can't posthumously award XP.
No.
Good night.
Good night. I mean, this game doesn't really have XP anyway. Pink Beast says, giant hamster, that's D&D 2nd edition. I mean, I suspect a giant hamster is fairly scary, at least has fairly scary teeth. The ghost is hanging around in a dangerous place again. Right, we are now carving a memorial to this ghost, having made the slab first. So we do stand some chance of laying it to rest. So given where it's, I suppose, presumably possibly this is someone who drowned somewhere near here. All right, there's their corpse. Yes, like 2 squares horizontally away from the problematic floor hatch. So that would kind of explain why they are haunting that area. I've lost the ghost again. Oh, only one place item in tomb job going on now. So what are you placing? That's Domas Tonlulogem's teeth. And that's Domas Tonlulogem's corpse, right, yes. So basically, Domas Tonlulogem was probably cut up into a large number of pieces. And therefore now needs to be buried piecewise. And that's a kind of inconvenient process. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Currently we've buried 10 of Domas Tonlulogem's teeth. We'd also have their head, which is separate from the rest of their corpse. and the rest of their corpse, and a toe. Might have dealt with all of their teeth already. So, oh no, is this more of Domaston Logem's teeth? No, there's another one. That's someone else's tooth. Obviously, some of these teeth will belong to people who are still alive. Because the point of that stockpile was to accumulate teeth belonging to people who are still alive, ready for burial if they should die. Pink Bee says, Keskalokil, after you are horribly mangled in battle, we promise to bury all the bits of you that we can find. Eventually. Yes, I think maybe I should set up like a dedicated room for storing teeth, etc., rather than just keeping them in the corridors of the necropolis. Things are getting reasonably tidy now. Like, we might have dwarves who aren't storing items in stockpiles. Yes, the number of store item jobs is getting quite small. Surprisingly large number of people resting. Oh, I suppose we have had a bunch of wildlife attacking people, haven't we? Keskalokil, we will stockpile your teeth pre-mortem. It's true, in a corridor. Let's unforbid that some of this stuff that's lying around in corridors. How's our tidying up of the that going? Not very well. So these still need more bins? Yes, okay. I'm sure we'll find some bins in due course. You're still carving because you don't actually know how to do it. Right, we have killed an awful lot of giant thripses lately, haven't we? They're all over the place out here. Along with a lot of giant hamster teeth. And like the rest of a giant hamster. In 2 pieces. Right, nothing has flooded recently. Good. That's filling up again. Don't think I'm going to risk sending... Oh dear, what's rotting up here? Probably something that's got swept out of its correct location. And has then rotted as a result. I'll immediately find the problem there. Yes, I don't want to start trying to fix this farm until we're not in danger of further catastrophic flooding. Which I will declare to be once we've managed to lay this ghost to rest. Right, good. We are still disarticulating skeletons. With the help of a kitten, apparently. Right, we could probably butcher a giant hamster soon. Still have items that are waiting to be dumped. Why is there a wall that's construction is suspended? Let's unsuspend that. Yeah, we can't harvest anything because someone's gone and flooded that room. Keskalokil not currently in danger of further catastrophic flooding. Well, give us a moment. We're still not there. In particular, look where this ghost is. They could quite easily cause some more catastrophic flooding. Should they feel like it. So it seems that ghosts... Excuse me, I've just spotted where you are. No, that looks safe. Oh, the ghost has opened the forbidden door. Happily, we put a wall in front of the forbidden door. And the forbidden door was never controlled by mechanisms, and so it just closes automatically. Yes, we will put a defensive floor next to the forbidden floor hatch next. Still working on the slab. It'll be done soon, I'm sure. And like water levels in most of the fortress are now quite reasonable. I mean, there's this section here which seems to have a habit of staying quite floody, but that's mostly a disused mine, so we don't really mind that. It'll soon be possible to harvest the rock nuts. Giant thrips and blue jays are now fighting one another. Good. Yeah, we have a shortage of wood actually. Let's send someone off to cut some more trees. I'm sure that won't fill the world with even more agitated giant hamsters. Aha! That corpse has finally gone. Does that mean we don't have any burial jobs pending? Yes, hooray! Still a lot of items to be dumped, but possibly we could now start actually moving more things into the fortress, like goblinite. Seb says, why was it forbidden? Yes, the original flooding problem was caused by this door being left open, or being opened, by someone who was trying to collect something from behind it, I think, or possibly was just wandering around. And so we've walled that in order to make it impossible to open again. The floor hatch was the intended way that water would get in here, in that we would then be able to filter things out of the seawater here at this grating. However, it does very much look like someone drowning there, but apparently it's not. However, it turns out that the floor hatch can be opened by a ghost, even though the floor hatch is controlled by mechanisms. Right, I think we have a new memorial. Let us build the memorial. Actually, maybe we should put it next to the forbidden door. Right. Yes, once we've got this slab installed, there will be no further ghost shenanigans, at least from this ghost. And I might put some more effort into like arranging that opening these doors, that there isn't a floor hatch, the opening of which will flood the fortress again. But I don't want to do that while there's any danger of the ghost reopening the floor hatch. Slightly worried that someone will get scared by the ghost while erecting the floor hatch. Not floor hatch, memorial. Which, like, I'm making worse by insisting on putting it near to where they died. Seb asks, does it have a name? Do you mean the ghost? The ghost's name is Dishmab or something like that. Dishmab Shipdells. So we could start unforbidding goblinite now, couldn't we? If we can find some. Well, there's some. Actually, it looks like at least some of the goblinite is already unforbidden. That will then give our people some more stuff to move around in case they're bored. Of course, that will probably distract people from erecting this slab. Where is the slab? Is someone working on it? Yes, they are. Here somewhere is a dwarf slowly carrying a quite heavy siltstone slab down to the place where I have insisted that it must be. Which is going to take a little while to get to, especially in these rather crowded corridors. For some reason, this corridor is full of pets, like peacocks and cats and kittens and dogs And somewhere on the other side of this corridor is the place where I'm trying to put this slab. I'll take a shortcut through someone's bedroom, or maybe not. Right, into the dining room where there's a bit of space. Get past another mob of pets. You can move diagonally into doorways in Dwarf Fortress, unlike in NetHack. Right, we're almost in the correct place. You can see our ghost is nearby. Have a ghost here and someone holding the memorial there. Floor hatch is still closed, apparently. And the floor hatch is installed, and Dishmab Zugla-Rochig has been laid to rest, or put to rest rather. This is a finely crafted siltstone memorial to Dishmab Zugla-Rochig. The slab reads, in memory of Dishmab Zugla-Rochig, born 89, drowned in the year 114. Slayer of the dog Adil Waldabbling. Okay. So that should now mean that the fortress stops flooding. And next time we will improve the drainage of the farm. Though I would observe that it does seem now to be practical to harvest it again. But it would be quite nice if it weren't quite so wet down there. And we might actually deal with the slightly more of the goblinite now that the sea isn't flooded. FX. Pigby says FX and elf sneaking in to pull the forbidden lever. Oh yes, and the other thing we should do is make it so that the forbidden floor hatch, even if opened, doesn't flood the fortress. That would be good, wouldn't it? So yes, we can see here that the sea is almost completely full as the numbers gradually go back up to 7. It just takes a little while for the water to come in from the edges and find the remaining squares that are lower than 7. So yes, that will be for next time. We seem to have finished burying everyone who died in the last siege. We still have plenty of things to butcher, including now a giant leopard gecko corpse. And a bunch of odd bits. That scale, that can be disposed of because we can't turn that into anything. Why can't we? You should surely be able to tan scales and make like things like crocodile leather shoes and such like. Oh, and it's autumn and the leaves are falling from the trees. So I think that will be all for tonight. I will say good night and we will see you on Sunday. Good night.